Last week on CAW, the United States Champion Bruiser Jones outlasted 3 others to become the new #1 contender for Big Bad Brad's World Heavyweight Championship at Judgment Day. And tonight, we will have a Cruiserweight showcase in a TLC match to determine the first ever Cruiserweight Champion. And in the main event, the 2 opponents at Judgment Day, Big Bad Brad and Bruiser Jones, will put their differences aside to take on 2 tough opponents in Mr. Nice Guy and Billy Spade. How will this turn out? Alright, we are here with Friday Night SmackDown. This is the May 10th episode of Friday Night SmackDown here in CAW. We are in Bismarck, North Dakota. The first 2 matches are going to be vacant. The first 2 slots, I should say. But the first match is going to be Chris Classic versus Azrael. And we are going to have Bo Williams on commentary. And obviously, because of Bo Williams' sudden heel turn against Mr. Nice Guy last week, he is going to be in support of Azrael, one of the top heels in the company. Bo Williams, unfortunately, was unsuccessful, so he can learn quite a bit from Azrael, who has been a heel since the very beginning and has done so well so far this season. Azrael, unfortunately, lost in the main event to become the #1 contender for the world title. So Azrael is looking at this match to get himself back on track, back in the winning column, to set him up for future matches, for future opportunities. Chris Classic, he tried to jump his rival Hollywood Blake Austin and was unsuccessful as he and Jamal Curry, the former Friday Night SmackDown superstar Jamal Curry, ended up losing a 2-on-1 jump on Blake Austin. Let's see what happens here. Both Chris and Azrael need the momentum. Bo could really learn a lot from Azrael on commentary. So obviously, this is a very big match for all 3. Let's see what happens here. And Azrael picks up the victory. Again, Azrael is a very dominant force here on Friday Night SmackDown. Bo Williams, hopefully this win from Azrael teaches him how to get in the winning column himself, because like I said before, Bo Williams has really struggled throughout this entire season. And look at this. Last week, like I said, Chris Classic and Jamal Curry jumped Hollywood Blake Austin. They jumped Hollywood Blake Austin together, and Blake Austin came out on top. But seeing how this is going, Chris Classic just lost to Azrael, and now Bo Williams from commentary is stepping into the ring. And not only that, but Blake Austin arrives to the scene to make it a 3-on-1 on Chris Classic. So this is even worse than what Chris Classic did to him the week before. Let's see if Chris Classic can come out here and do the impossible, the unthinkable, by defeating these 3 superstars, Blake Austin, Azrael, and Bo Williams. This is a fresh Blake Austin that we're talking about. But let's see what happens. And no, Blake Austin again with another huge victory over Chris Classic. Azrael stayed in the ring. Bo Williams stayed in the ring. They didn't want to let Blake Austin have all the fun taking out Chris Classic, so they doubled down and went after Chris Classic in this one here. And Chris Classic just taking another brutal beating. What is it going to take? How is Chris Classic going to overcome all of these losses to Blake Austin? Because right now, Chris Classic is just living in Blake Austin's world. And now we are going to look at the Cruiserweight Championship match. This is our Cruiserweight showcase. We were talking about this last week. We signed 2 new superstars in Isaiah Hawkins and Koa Cruz. Isaiah Hawkins is a very unorthodox styled wrestler. Very good wrestler, solid wrestler, but very unorthodox, and you'll see that in this match. Koa Cruz from Honolulu, Hawaii is a solid talent. Solid talent. And then we have guys that have been here for a while with Kyle Ryder, whose brother is actually a champion himself, and Delano Anderson, who has done pretty solid this season. You know, nothing too great, nothing too low, but he's been pretty damn solid. But this is for the Cruiserweight Championship. The 4 Cruiserweights on our brand battling it out for the title. Let's see what happens here. Who will be the first ever Cruiserweight Champion? And he throws Isaiah Hawkins off of the ladder. Elbow drop off the ladder by Delano Anderson. And he makes him bleed. He's busted open. Damn, a moonsault diving headbutt by Isaiah Hawkins. And he suplexes him off the ladder. Hawkins, splash! All the way down, he goes for the pin. 1, 2, no! Koa Cruz breaks it up. Leg drop, and another leg drop, this time by Koa Cruz. And he slams him right through the table in the corner. And Hawkins, he's going for the pin. He's going for the pin. The referee gets in position. What is this? Ryder and Cruz, they're just looking from the top. And there we have it. Isaiah Hawkins is the Cruiserweight Champion. He just pinned Delano Anderson, while Koa Cruz and Kyle Ryder were at the top of the ladder. Neither one of them decided to dive down to break up the pin. And now we have a new Cruiserweight Champion, Isaiah Hawkins, winning this Cruiserweight title in his debut match. What a crazy match. Such a chaotic match by all 4 of these superstars, putting it on the line time and time again. But in the end, it is Isaiah Hawkins who is your Cruiserweight Champion. Isaiah Hawkins taking advantage of Kyle Ryder and Koa Cruz being at the top of the ladder and pinning Delano Anderson to win that hellacious TLC match to become the first ever Cruiserweight Champion in his debut match. We saw some of the craziest things in that match, but in the end, it was Isaiah Hawkins who walks out as the new and first ever CAW Cruiserweight Champion. And now we are here in the main event. We have a hardcore tornado tag match, and as you can see, you're seeing it correctly, we have Bruiser Jones and Big Bad Brad, 2 guys who are going to be fighting for the world title at Judgment Day on the same team. Bruiser Jones is the United States champion. Big Bad Brad is the world champion. Both champions teaming up together to face one of the best talents in this company, Mr. Nice Guy, and then also Billy Spade, who has been going a little back and forth with Bruiser Jones these past few weeks. All right, this is our main event match, and I do want to hop into this match, see how this goes down. How are these champions going to work together in order to try to win this match, or will they work together at all? This is a hardcore tornado match. Let's see what comes out of this here. I don't even know what to expect. Let's get right to it. And he takes the world champion down. Powerbomb. And a second powerbomb. and he powerbombs him into the steel chair on the ground. Whoa, Bruiser Jones! That was a chair shot, but that hit Big Bad Brad! Was that intentional? Did he mean to do that? And he stomps down onto the world champion. He just hit the referee! He just hit, whoa! And he just hit Big Bad Brad a second time! And Big Bad Brad breaks up the pin. He goes for the chair shot, but Spade blacks out. Bruiser Jones going for the pin. He's going 1, 2, and a kick out by Mr. Nice Guy after the finisher was just hit. Bruiser again. His finisher. He goes for the pin. 1, 2, and Billy Spade kicks out of the finisher as well. Wait, inside the ring. Big Bad Brad, he just goes for the pin. 1, 2, 3. No way, no way. He just stole the show. What is that? Big Bad Brad just stole the spotlight from Bruiser Jones in the main event. They got the win, but it was Big Bad Brad. Whoa! Bruiser Jones with a chair shot, and now he stands over the world champion. Wow, that was chaotic right there by Bruiser Jones. Now the first chair shot to Big Bad Brad earlier in the match. I don't know if that was intentional. I don't know if that was him trying to get just a nice little cheap shot in on Big Bad Brad without anybody noticing. But the way this match played out, Bruiser Jones hitting his finisher on Billy Spade and Mr. Nice Guy, but not being able to get the pin, the 3 count, on either of them. However, Big Bad Brad quickly steals all of the spotlight from Bruiser Jones by being the one to get the pin himself, showing that the world title deserves more recognition than the United States champion. Big Bad Brad making sure that he was the one that walked out on top, even if Bruiser Jones was also on his team. However, Bruiser Jones and that chair shot at the very end, that cheap shot, that second cheap shot at the end of the match, after the match, I should say, that one was for sure intentional. And now Bruiser Jones walks away from this match with the spotlight on himself. Wow, what a main event between these two, with and between these two champions. Judgment Day can't come soon enough. I cannot wait to see what happens between these two. But that's going to conclude Friday Night SmackDown. And wow, Ray Ryder. I believe he's holding 3 championships right now. He's the WWE champion. He is the Intercontinental champion. And I believe he is also the tag team champion. This is the best superstar in the entire company right now. And he is just thriving. Wow, I can't wait to see what kind of match he won to get there. But they are really building this guy up, and it is cool to see. Kyle Ryder, his brother, was in that title match for the Cruiserweight Championship, but unfortunately fell short there. But wow, huge week for Ray Ryder. Huge season for Ray Ryder. Becoming the GOAT of this company, and he's not even on my brand. Now, we also have Raphael, who is a newer wrestler to this company. He's actually the first submitted wrestler from the community. I had somebody that commented down on one of my previous videos, and they requested that their superstar Raphael was added to CAW. I got him created, and now next week, Raphael, he's a cruiserweight, so he's going to be giving Isaiah Hawkins some competition. Raphael's going to be joining the brand, so look forward to seeing him on Friday Night SmackDown next week. He'll be on the next episode for us. All right, and a great match enjoyed by all. Yep, Big Bad Brad, Bruiser Jones. That main event was insane. All right, pulling in a whopping 0.5. I'm still looking for that first 1-star match, so let's hope that comes soon, because Raw is starting to get 1-star shows. which is kind of concerning because we got no stars this week. But Big Bad Brad holding it down here for Friday Night SmackDown, doing what he's got to do, you know, to pull in at least half of a star. All right, so if we look at Raw here, they get a lot of half stars, and then their main event ended up actually being a single star. The first match was Ricky Nash and Jamal Curry. Jamal Curry is a new guy to their roster. He was just signed by them recently, but he ended up losing there as well against Gladiator and Joel Udo. So his struggles are still transferring over to Monday Night Raw. And then we have a handicap between Super Dude, Hannah, Casey Jackson, and Dr. Walters. So Super Dude and Dr. Walters have been in a rivalry these past few weeks, but you know, that 3-on-1 is a little bit too much for Super Dude, even though Super Dude did have quite a good start to the season. Now we're looking at this elimination tag. Lisa Lee, she's the women's champion, and Tank defeat Zach Frost and Midnight. So really big win for Lisa Lee here, showing why she is the women's champion. And then in the main event, Sasuke loses his WWE Championship to Ray Ryder. That is insane. Ray Ryder has 3 titles: the WWE Championship, the Intercontinental Championship, and now, well, and the Tag Team Championship. So the 3 titles that he can hold on Raw, he has. So whatever championship you want, you have to go through Ray Ryder. So he is the #1 guy in the company as of right now. All right, so now if we look at our roster here, the top guy on our roster is Big Bad Brad. He is at a 38 popularity. We've got Blake Austin right behind him, as well as Bruiser Jones. Both of these guys are at a 33. Mr. Nice Guy is at a 27. Azrael up to a 26. And then again, Isaiah Hawkins winning the Cruiserweight title gets himself to a 26 as well. Bo Williams pops up to a 22. So that actually was a huge win for him with Azrael and Blake Austin. Koa Cruz remains at a 20. And then we've got everybody else. And again, I did just sign Raphael, like I said. And Chris Classic not looking too good, over at a 4 popularity. Something's got to change for him. We'll see if anything changes over these next few weeks. So when we look at the Power 25, Ray Ryder is obviously the #1 dude in the company. If we look over at his popularity, he is at a 46. He's going to be the first one to cross over 50. There's nobody that's anywhere close to reaching him, I believe. But he is at a 46 popularity. Big Bad Brad is #2, our world champion. Blake Austin at #3. Bruiser Jones is at #4. So although we don't have the #1 guy, we have 2, 3, and 4. So we do have 3 really solid stars up here. Lisa Lee, like I said, is the women's champion at #5. And then if we scroll down, these are the next 5 on the power rankings. If we look at SmackDown, the top 5 are, again, the contenders for the world title. We have Big Bad Brad, Blake Austin, who honestly is probably going to find himself in a world title match pretty soon after Bruiser Jones or Big Bad Brad, whoever wins the title match at Judgment Day. Blake Austin is probably going to find himself in that next match because he has been on a roll this entire season. Azrael keeps himself afloat in the world title picture. And then we have Isaiah Hawkins, our Cruiserweight champion, who is our top 5 guy. Everybody else, again, is a contender for the United States Championship, our mid-card title. So that's the next few guys. And then when we look over at Raw, this is their top 5. Ray Ryder, Lisa Lee, and then, you know, that's their top 5. And then everybody else is in contention for the Intercontinental title. Let's go look at this fan support. I know we are losing pretty bad. Raw did us pretty dirty this week. Well, yeah, we have 4,670,000. Raw has 5,330,000. It's still doable, still a lot of time, but we need to start winning some of these weeks. I don't know what I've got to do. If you guys have any suggestions, let me know. But this is going to conclude the episode for today. If you really like this episode, if you've been watching any of the previous episodes as well and you got to this point, please hit that subscribe button. You know, the more subscribers we get, the faster these videos are going to start coming out. Recently, I've been doing about 1 video a week, maybe 1 video every 8 days even. But if you want these videos to come out at a faster rate, please hit that subscribe button and I will get these videos going. All right, I'm just trying to get more people to watch. You know, maybe somebody comments down that they want a CAW, their own CAW in this series. So I'm just kind of giving it some time, giving it some breathing room so that, you know, people can get to these videos and watch them. But I want to see that subscriber number, you know, rise up a little bit. You know, that way I know there are a lot of people that are sticking through with this series. I'm still gonna make this series and continue making videos, but you know, if the demand is a lot higher, I see there's a lot of people that subscribe, I will get these videos out at a faster rate. All right, but other than that, that's gonna conclude this video. Thanks for watching, everybody. Peace.